I got a question on how to stop reacting to your thoughts, and I need you guys to understand that a lot of these questions that I'm getting all have to do with inward and not necessarily have to do with the desire. Yes, everything is inward, but a lot of these questions are more on mindset. And in order to stop reacting to your thoughts, you guys need to realize you have to have such high stability in yourself, and that is simply just built up by saying I'm stable. I'm stable in myself. I'm secure in myself. When you come from a reactive place, that's because you don't feel like you're in control. That's because something has been triggered. And from a non-reactive person, if they have been triggered, they take a step back, they take deep breaths, they stabilize themselves, they make sure that they're feeling okay, and then they address the situation. So I have a bunch of videos and a bunch of different things to do to approach thoughts that might be the thoughts that are getting some sort of a reaction out of you. But in order to not be reactive, you need to build up stability in yourself. Because if you have a thought, if you manifested that you have $100,000 in your bank account and you have a thought that you actually have $50 or you're broke or whatever thought that doesn't align with the desire that you want, and you're reacting to that, it's because you're not secure and you're not stable in that assumption, and you're not secure and you're not stable in yourself. Because if you were secure and stable in your assumption, that random thought would be a random thought. That random thought, you would know that random thought has nothing to do with you because you're over here with the $100,000. And having $50 and being broke has absolutely nothing to do with you. So if you want to stop freaking out or reacting, you need to work on your self-concept. You need to work on, I am stable in myself. I'm stable in my assumptions. I'm secure in myself. I'm secure in my assumptions. I know I'm the creator of my reality. I know I'm the validation. I know that my physical world is just me. I know I control it. I know I control how everything shows up in my life. I know I'm the operant power. I know what I say goes. Just, yeah, self-concept. It's okay if you react, but because I say don't check the 3D for validation, right? But I think people think since I say that, then they're like, oh my gosh, so if I look in the mirror, then I've failed. No, no. The goal is to not feel like you need to check the 3D because it's not validation and you're the validation. But if you pass by a mirror, there's no need to feel like you have failed or freak out. You are a human and you're going to have down moments. Maybe someone said something to you when you get angry. That's completely fucking fine. But the goal is to be so stable and secure in yourself and know that what you say goes and that you're in control. So that's a Neville Goddard quote that I just posted, but it's basically along the lines of no matter what is happening outside of you, turn inward and be still. Because your dominant thought is your dominant thought. What you're consistently saying is consistent. It's going to be consistent. So it doesn't matter what's going on out here, as long, because, you know, in, so within, so without, that Neville Goddard quote. But this is stable. And I said this in a video such a long time ago, but I was like, wait, why do I feel, okay, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like a roller coaster? It shouldn't be a roller coaster. There should be no, I have it, I don't have it. I have it, I don't have it. That's wavering. If you're here, it should be like this. This should be your dominant thoughts at all times. The same thing, because that's what you want. You want to be consistent. And if you're consistent in here, you will be shown consistency in your physical world. But anyways, it's okay. Don't demonize yourself if you get upset about a thought or if you freak out about a thought. The goal is to, well, the goal for me, and I've reached that now, but the goal for me was to not have those thoughts affect me. And the reason why they no longer affect me is, I mean, I have so many videos on this, but is one, I have learned different ways to deal with the thought, whether that's affirming the opposite. But what really clicked, because everything works, but what really clicked for me was just letting the thought pass. Letting the thought pass and not running to react to it. That comes from observing. If you're reacting to the thought, you're in the thought. If you're observing the thought, you're just observing the thought. You can go on my Law of Assumption Twitter and I just type in observing, and I have a bunch of posts about that. But if you are outside of the thought and you just have a thought of I'm broke, you're not going to identify with it if you're just looking at it. That's a lot of what meditation is. But if you're just looking at the thought and you're just like, okay, where is this thought coming from? Is this thought something I want to identify with? Is this thought something I'm going to persist in? Versus, oh my gosh, I'm every single thought I have, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's one thing that I have done that has helped me not react. Two is realizing a doubt and a desire. At the end of the day, they're both thoughts and they both hold the same amount of power. They both hold zero power until you give it power. So it's not that your doubts have more power than your desires. No, doubts and desires are just both thoughts that come from you. You are giving the doubt power, just like you give the desire power. That's something else that was an epiphany of mine, that I was like, oh shit. So like, if I have a doubt, it really doesn't fucking matter. And I'm not going to freak out, because at the end of the day, this is no different than a thought, and it has zero power until I give it meaning. And in order for it to manifest, I literally have to persist in it, and that's not going to fucking happen because I'm the operant power. I mean, I preach about self-concept all the time, but I mean, this is my channel, so I talk about what works for me. And the people who don't react to thoughts or don't freak out over doubts, those are the people you hear how they talk about themselves and their desires, and you see they have good assumptions about themselves, that they manifest instantly, that they're the operant power, that they're secure in themselves, that they're stable in themselves. So if you want to not react to those thoughts anymore, do the things that I just said. I have a bunch of videos talking about it. But once again, the reason why you're reacting to doubts is because you're not stable and secure in yourself. Once again, if you were secure in the fact that you had $100,000 and a random thought that you only have $50 in your bank account comes up, you're secure over here in this assumption. You're secure in the fact that what you say goes, and you're the operant power. So it just sounds like you need to persist in a good self-concept. It just sounds like you need repetition. It's really not that hard. I said a bunch of self-concept affirmations. All you need to do is just repeat them when you think as if, do whatever works for you. But yeah, that's how I stopped reacting to thoughts, and that's why negative thoughts, doubts just became random thoughts, and they don't affect me anymore.